Welcome to Chik Chat, the podcast where the girl with many titles talks about life, the good and the bad, and everything around it. We're going to sit, chat, share life stories and experiences, from business to relationship. Right.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back to the Chik Chat podcast. It's been a while, especially since you were on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have a generic catch-up, fill people in on what's been going on.
A generic catch-up?
Yes, what's wrong with generic?
General?
Same thing, general, generic. Right, well, this can be a conversation for after the podcast. Because we're supposed to be sticking to 30 minutes.
We'll be 30 minutes on the dot.
Will we?
Yep.
Anyway, so, if you are new here, we start with your challenge of the week or your tip of the week. In the middle, we ask how you're really doing. And at the end, we end with the win of the week. So, what's your tip or challenge of the week?
I don't know. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Give me time to think about it.
It's not like you're new on this. Okay, my challenge of the week, actually, we're going to England on Thursday. So my challenge of the week is to do a week's worth of work in really 2 and a bit days. Because once we get there, I do not want to be doing anything work-wise. Okay?
I can do a tip of the week, didn't you say?
Yeah.
Never, if you're booking flights and you're travelling with somebody else, never, ever book the first earliest flight.
I disagree.
I know, but that's my tip.
But why is it your tip?
Because the other person will thank you for not booking the earliest flight.
Unless the other person also just wants
Unless
to get out there.
the other person's a psychopath.
You're wild. Well, I think I found a good compromise with our travel itinerary.
Yep, this time, yeah.
Yeah, this time. Right. Anyway, let's get into the actual podcast. Stop.
Okay.
You're not going to spend this whole podcast looking at the timer. Because for anyone watching, basically, G's got my phone on his lap and he's looking at how long we've been recording. And you might say that you want to get bang on 30 minutes.
We're on a schedule.
But you're not going to just mess about for 30 minutes.
Not at this rate.
We want to have a proper conversation.
Okay.
Right. So what's been going on the past few months in our lives?
What's been going on?
Well, a lot. Our families met.
That's true, yeah.
We've still been filming for the TV show. Our producer left to work on Gogglebox.
Mm-hmm.
Loads of stuff's been happening.
I finished my course.
Oh yeah, you finished your course.
About to start another one.
Yep, and you've done really, really well.
Yep.
So, in terms of life, how has life been for you the past few months?
Fine.
Just fine.
It's been alright.
Just alright. Because we're in what, September now?
September, yeah.
Yep.
Back to school.
Yep. Fun times for you.
Yep.
Okay, it's just been okay. Look, I've just listed a few things that we've done that's been quite exciting. It's not just.
I don't think
fine.
I said okay. I think.
Oh, sorry, you said fine.
You said how's it been, and I said fine.
I know, but just fine is what's been happening.
It's better than bad.
Yeah, it's better than bad, but this is supposed to be a here you go, here's life. And fine sounds like,
I'm still in my job. I haven't got sacked.
That's good.
I've been in it for over a year, so.
There you go. Has it been over a year now?
July
Wow.
was a year, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Good not to get sacked, yeah.
Yeah. We've been together over a year now. I can't remember when we did our last podcast together, but that's all. And we've celebrated our 2nd anniversary, although you didn't do anything for it.
Neither did you.
I suggested when we were at the wedding, we had our little whiskey because you like whiskey, so I made a bit
But
of
I
an
didn't
effort.
know that was a thing.
I told you
I
that was
made
a
an
thing.
effort. You bought around the drinks.
Go away. No, but I knew that you like whiskey, and I thought, it's not one that like I need to celebrate and do like a huge thing. However, I would like to commemorate the day he actually did ask me to be your girlfriend.
Okay.
Stop looking at that
I
phone.
wasn't looking at
if
your phone.
you look again, I'm going to take it off you. This is just going to be 30 minutes of me telling you what.
Gotta keep things moving.
Got to keep things moving. Right, I'm going to...
We're
Right. Right. If you're not... If you're not
Give you an
watching...
update.
What are you?
5 minutes.
5
19.
minutes. Oh, you're wild. If you're not watching, it's been taken off him. So, maybe now you can concentrate. It just shows how your brain works. Your brain's like, that's what I'm focusing on. That's what I'm focusing on.
Well, we had a goal, didn't we?
Okay, we still got that goal. Anyway, okay, so our families met as well.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, you were kind of the conductor of that with Dad. Because I mentioned it a long time ago and then was like, I'm leaving this. And obviously it was a huge thing. Well, in my family.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't really a conductor, was it?
Yeah, but it was more because you spoke to Dad about it.
Yeah.
And he knew that you cared. And because of how you are with Dad, that is a reason why he went against basically whatever he's always talked about in the past.
Well, that's true.
Like
the guy phoning him that day.
Yeah, go
in
on.
Zambia and saying, "What are you doing?" And he said he was hanging out with his daughter's boyfriend, and the guy was like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah. So like.
But it was good. It went well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Ended with my dad and Unc singing "You Never Walk Alone." That was brilliant.
Headers.
Honestly, best video ever. It was just, and it's funny because both of Unc and my dad have the same name, so it was just, you could just see how they're such similar people. Not just because they got the same name, but like nearly got the same birthday, even though it's different years. Like, they're just characteristics that they have that are similar in such a really like nice way. So to have two of those in the family,
That was good crack.
yeah, it was. And it was nice because they got to cook in Shima. Auntie Michelle did as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Auntie Michelle did, to be fair, a better job than Unc did.
She did.
I think he was overthinking it.
Yeah.
Whereas she was like, yeah, it's okay. That was fun. Really nice day. Sunny day.
Although we did burn the sausages.
Yeah, but Unc still ate them.
Well, I ate most of them too.
He was like, these are great. And Dad was like, what? You can't be telling the truth. That was funny. But yeah, that was good. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, obviously, well, we've not filmed for the TV show recently either. So that's, to be fair, that was a bit of a welcome break because it was a lot in a shorter period.
Mm.
Although when we were having our catch up, I'd just had a bad meeting and I came downstairs and started crying. So that was a good introduction to our new producer. But I'm looking forward to that part of it as well and seeing how it all comes together.
Too, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. But it's been interesting as well because I look at, like, from when we started filming and doing all that stuff, obviously to be, I know, like, I still have the podcast and stuff, but, like, I'm back to vlogging. I don't know whether that's made me be a bit more comfortable being in front of the camera or what, but I just feel like that's been quite a nice process where...
Plus
what?
The camera's made for vlogging. So
He's talking about the camera that we're filming on. It is made for vlogging. But do you know what I mean? Like, that process, because it was kind of parts of our days and ish. Like the one where Roy was here with, like, Mum, Dad, when you guys were cooking, should I say? Like, that was very much just, it's a normal Saturday or Sunday, whatever it was. Sit down to eat, a bit like a camera behind you. And then Donnie went away. And now here I am, always walking around with a camera. Actually, how have you found the vlogging experience so far?
I just take it as it comes, don't I?
Yeah. You've not really complained.
I mean, I don't really have to, as long as I don't have to do anything, can't really complain.
This is your thing. You just don't want to, you just want to potter about. Yeah. But, I suppose, because really you're just sometimes like a bit in the shot, and then something funny will happen, and that'll be it. I keep going. Although I have felt like I've been talking to myself quite a lot though. Like this feels nice because at least I'm talking, like I'm looking at you and talking to you, but when I'm vlogging it's mostly like I'm just looking into the ether, and that ether's me. What is wrong with you?
Is there no clock on the thing?
I can't believe you're still thinking about that. Right, you're
You
not allowed
can't
to
work
think.
it the whole time.
You're not allowed to think about it. There's no clock on that.
And what's our... How
No,
long have we been going, I was to say?
not even halfway through.
But almost halfway. We better
No.
get cracking.
No, cracking for what? You know, this is going to be the worst podcast ever. Can you imagine if Tom and Christina were sat there just going, how long's it been now? How long's it been?
I know, but they don't necessarily have a limit. You said you wanted to keep it to half an
No, but
hour.
I don't need to keep, like, the limit thing isn't a massive issue. I just want to have a good podcast.
Okay.
And if it happens to be around half an hour, great. If it's not, then it won't be too much longer than that. Because I was hoping that would be your motivation to be like, right, let's get this done.
Well,
Enjoy the rest
that
of the
has
evening.
been.
No, because now this is bad quality content, isn't it? Would you sit and watch this podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that. So he had instructions to not kick the table, and he's just started doing it again. Well, hopefully that's not the sound that we're going to use anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, where were we? What else has been going on in life? You talk about your exams, your modules.
It's all done.
So what were you studying?
It was a postgraduate certificate in professional development, but really it was kind of around business and management. I absolutely smashed it, didn't I?
I hate that you did. This guy left everything to the last minute. There was one Sunday where I'd said to, and this is my fault for like starting to trust you. I was like, of all the men I've been around, you are really reliable. So if I just say to you, this week I just need you to do X, Y, and Z, at some point you're going to do it. However, I told you we were filming for a West Coast Cooler campaign. Fran and Niall were coming over, and I'd said, okay, these are your tasks. And then I think we even went to Mum and Dad's on the Saturday, or it might have been the Sunday. We even went to Mum and Dad's, basically just wasted time, and then you were like, oh, this is due tomorrow. And because they're going to be here, I want to spend time with them. And I was like, okay. And then I came in, looked at you, and you were just stressing. You were like, I don't even know what I'm doing with this. And then you just disappeared and you were gone. And I was like, okay. So I did my part. The next day you were then like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, well, if you'd have done it the day before, you'd have been fine.
It's just part of the process.
Is it? Being unorganised? No, it's not even that you're unorganised because you knew it needed doing. Something just made you go, I'm going to leave this till the last minute. But you did it for all of them. But this is the type of man that, new module, completely new stuff, and he's probably going to finish with distinction/first. If that was me, I'd have
In all
failed.
honesty, it wasn't really that difficult.
You say that, but
I made it difficult by just waiting until a day or two before it was due to actually get cracking.
But it was all new. Like, I know that, yes, you were using some stuff that maybe you could reference to the real world, but it was new stuff to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you've never studied business, so I think you kind of...
I've never studied business.
So it wasn't just straightforward and easy enough. Like, that's like I was saying to you earlier, that's a testament to how intelligent you are.
Well, I can write it. I'm pretty good at writing an essay, but I hadn't done a presentation in a long time or used PowerPoint, and I only remembered how to do some of the stuff in PowerPoint, like just as I thought I'd finished. You know, like the animations and stuff.
Yeah.
So I quickly went back and added a load of them in. So.
And then I helped you too.
Yeah.
You were smart and found a system you could use.
and then they wanted to make you pay
Yeah.
just to export it the
So
format.
I went and used my editing techniques and took out the bits that didn't need to be there. Team effort.
I'm not giving you the credit that you seem to be wanting here,
Why? I
because
helped you out.
I could have done it myself. I would have worked it out.
No, you'd have just paid for it.
No, there was no way I was paying for it. It
Really?
only had to be an MP4, so you could do it on your phone.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Or I would have Googled it.
Yeah, but still, it would have taken you a while. Because then you'd have had to learn how to use a new software. And that would have
I
stressed you
learned
out
that for
even more.
the assignment.
You did. I taught you all, didn't I?
You had to do some like reflective thing and make a video on like how you did on the module.
Easy enough.
Once I got going,
I still say team effort. I supported you through
alright,
it.
you can have a low 5.
Low 5.
There
Woo.
you
Yay. Oh, that's great. Well, that's fun. Right, we're getting to about,
Like 10
halfway
minutes.
through. No, halfway through. So, how are you really doing?
go. Fine.
Oh.
And how are you doing?
You're not answering.
I answered.
No, you're not just fine. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you today?
Middling.
A 5. You're a 5 today. I think that's incredible. That's way higher than I was expecting to be. And over the last few months, how have you been? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Over the past few months.
Yeah.
So, I guess.
Yeah, but as a number on a scale of 1 to 10.
Less than a 5.
Okay. Could we narrow it down?
That's as far as I'm prepared to go.
As you're prepared to go, wait, does that mean that you don't want to talk about it, or you just don't want to think about it too much?
Yes.
Okay, so this man, for someone that has been to therapy, does not like talking about his feelings. Feelings. So he started this thing, and now it's me that does it more than anything. So one of them is, if it's you hear, or if someone says the word California, then you normally sing California, and then I don't know where the feelings thing came from, but you always used to do.
It's a song that the Offspring did on one of their albums.
Is it? And
I've played it to you as well.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Honestly, look.
Yep.
A year, it feels like I've known you a longer time. In a good way. So.
It's like the opposite of time flies.
No, but time does fly. Because it feels like I've known you a long time.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so his thing was the feelings. But yeah, so you don't like talking about your feelings. Let's talk about that. Wonder why.
You want to talk about why I don't like to talk about how I feel?
Yeah.
Because it's boring.
What do you mean it's boring? It's
just
not boring.
Boring, isn't it?
But not to me.
I know, but
I like it when you talk about
not
your
to
feelings.
generalise, but women love it. Men,
Yeah, because
most men, not so much.
but that's because like you're having a deeper connection with your partner. You're really getting inside the brain. Like I always say, I'd love to hear you in a monologue, and you're like, no, you wouldn't.
No.
I really would. Because I'd just jump in there and be like, hello.
I'd come out crying, probably.
No. Not at all. I'll give you a big hug.
I'm beginning to come to the conclusion that therapy is a racket. Because people are in therapy for sometimes decades, and they're the same.
Did you say therapy is a racket?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you mean by that?
Like just to get money out of people.
Really? See, my therapist tells me you don't need to be here.
Well, then she's not got the memo. Because think about it though. Like people will say, "Oh, I've been in therapy for years," but they're the same.
Yeah, but I think sometimes those are people that.
Maybe for like acute problems, but for like long-term issues or whatever. I don't know.
See,
I guess it depends on the kind of therapy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that too. Because I feel like for me
Like electroshock therapy.
is what you
You
want.
can't do it long term.
You can't.
Well, no, you die.
Well, stop it. I saw your
Like 5
eyes.
minutes.
No, not 5
How
minutes.
close am I?
No, actually, you're not close. But going back to the whole therapy thing, no.
Like I'll probably go again at some point.
But you have been saying this for a long time as well.
Well, not really a long time.
No, I mean in terms of like the podcast. I could go back to one of like our quite early sessions.
But yeah, I'll probably go back at some point, and then I'll go. That wasn't really as useful as I thought it would be.
But isn't it better to at least try it and figure out that that's not the right avenue and try something else?
Perhaps. Drugs. Prescribed drugs.
Well, that could also, but you've also tried that. You could just
Well,
maybe need to go on
Isn't it better to
ayahuasca.
try and not whatever you say?
Are you even listening to me? You're like, I'm hearing. Sorry, I'm listening, but I'm not hearing you.
I don't know about ayahuasca either.
Why? Not that I'm trying to get you to to try ayahuasca. I'm just
I
wondering
don't really like the jungle.
why. So you wouldn't want to get in there, but it's not like they just do it deep in the jungle.
That's true. There's not too many shaman here though, is there?
No. Well, I'm sure you'd find someone.
I suppose you could try DMT.
And what's DMT?
I think it's like a synthetic version,
Oh, is it?
essentially.
That's interesting.
Sure, Irvin Welsh was on. The guy who wrote Train Spotting was on Sunday Brunch, and he mentioned being on a DMT trip.
Oh, no, I don't remember that. Interesting.
Hmm.
Okay, so you've been.
You know what I don't like about therapy? They
What?
say nice things to you, and it makes me hate them
Why? What do you mean?
because they're said to everybody.
No, they don't say it
They
to
do.
everybody.
They say the same thing to
They don't
everybody.
say the same thing. Are you telling me that as someone that studied psychology as well and would have looked into like psychotherapy, you read up that they say the same thing to everyone?
But they do. Like if somebody's in there saying, "I'm such a horrible person," they'll always go, "Well, no, you're not. You're not really."
Because you're not really.
But what if somebody is? They'll
Well,
always still tell them, "Oh no, you're not a horrible person."
but what would make someone a horrible person? Someone can just make mistakes. That doesn't make you a horrible person.
Murderer.
But they won't be in therapy.
Serial murderer.
Okay, but there are some that repent, and we all know that sometimes there are weird triggers that happen that make people do stuff.
Well, you said what would make someone a horrible person.
Well, yeah, I know,
So
but
a
I'm just
serial
saying.
murderer is a good example.
Okay, serial. This is an interesting turn of events.
But it's a therapist. If a psychotherapist was sitting with a serial murderer, and the murderer was going, "Oh, I'm just such a horrible person,"
I think they go.
They
What
would
makes you think
go-
that?
oh, probably, and that's annoying too, isn't it?
But that's the point because they're
Oh, I
not
know,
supposed to
I
feed.
know
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
point. Do you know what I mean? It just seems I've just become a bit cynical of it.
But you become cynical of
Skeptical,
something.
I guess.
But you've become skeptical of something that you've done.
I know.
So what is it that's made you go? Actually, no, this isn't for me because this is the first time
I don't
hearing
really
it.
know that it helped that much.
Yeah, but it's not like. So how long are you in therapy for?
I've done different like things on and off,
Yeah, but
so I don't know. All in all, I don't know. I couldn't guess.
okay, how old were you when you started going to therapy?
Probably my like early to mid-20s.
Okay, so let's say you've been going for about 10 years on and off.
Okay.
But in that 10 years on and off, just from me knowing you for a year, I know that you've dealt with some traumatic stuff. And I know that speaking from personal experience, it took me what, 2 and a bit years to start unloading some of the traumatic stuff that I've been through. And even then, that was towards the end of me leaving therapy, and I've then not kind of faced it, if that makes sense. It's not that I've made the choice that I like being where I am now and dealing with the world the way that I seem to be able to do it now. So if I was to go back and start to talk through all of that crap and how that's made me feel, people's reactions, how all of that, that would start a whole new load of mess. And I think that would go on for a while. So I feel like to say that it's not works for you. I don't think it's a you go and you're cured type thing. But I do think that each time, and like my experience was, each time I went, I got to face something specific and something different. And sometimes that then opened stuff for deeper stuff. Sometimes it just helped me close a chapter on something. But that doesn't mean that I still don't like feel stuff now. I do, and I've been avoiding going back for a reason.
Is that not stuff you could have done just on your own anyway?
I think there's stuff that you can do on your own, but also your brain, like you're the type of intelligent, and because you studied it, that I feel like you'd be like me where you intellectualize things. Things have a meaning, and but sometimes you just need to be in that room for someone to give you a different point of view or to say something different. Like you still might get to that end goal, but how you get there makes you then uncover different things about yourself. Because I very much think, like I know we joke about like manifestation and all that type of stuff, but my mindset when I met you was in such a specific place, and I wouldn't have been in that place if it wasn't for my therapist. Like there's loads of stuff I could have done on my own that would have helped me get there, but I know for a fact that right before meeting you, I was presented with some challenges that if I'd have given in, which old me would have, I wouldn't have met you.
Okay. I think I just need, if I were to see a therapist, I just need to be a bit more matter of fact about it.
In what sense?
I don't need someone to say nice things. I just need it to be practical and
Okay, could you give me an example without being too deep?
well, cognitive behavioral therapy is that you challenge the cognitions with behavior. So just teach me how to do that.
And do you do CBT?
Yeah, I've done it.
And why do you think that didn't
Well,
work?
it kind of works for anxiety, but and I guess you can apply it to lots of conditions, but do you know, like, I don't need any, it's just teach somebody the skills, how to do something. I don't really want to talk about stuff over and over and over again.
But sometimes maybe you need to talk about, like, they can still teach you, and I think the job should be to teach you. But sometimes you need to talk it over and over again because, again, your brain does stuff to try and protect
Yeah,
you.
but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but I know you don't want
You
to.
just go over the same stuff over and over.
But do you not want to do that because you think it's boring, it hurts, it...
Just so, I don't know. What's the time?
I'm not telling you what the time
Mum,
is.
you need
That
to tell me
actually,
the
no,
time.
that actually just reminded me. So one of the other things we've been talking about is starting our podcast. And that's going to be happening very soon.
Is it?
It is.
Alright.
Yeah, because I'm your manager in life apparently as well. Oh, that's another exciting thing. We also had our first paid campaign on TikTok.
And what did we spend it on?
Food shopping.
Groceries.
No, but you can pretend that it went towards like our weekend trip. Because ultimately I just took the money that was in the account and went, we're going for a food shop now, let's
Well,
sort
I
that
can't
out.
pretend.
Alright. Because I've still not sorted out, honestly that's been another thing on my list, I've not sorted out finances. But this leads into how I've been doing, because I think this is also a longer conversation, but how have I been doing? I've been doing okay, a little bit stressed, sometimes very overwhelmed, but like I can't complain. I'm not in a place that I used to be, like I just seem to be getting on with life.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
That was short and sweet.
yeah. Because
After
we're
the
getting...
grilling I got.
Yeah, but I'm giving you the grilling because, well, one, it's interesting also to hear, but this is also like a bit of reflective time, because especially the other thing we've been talking about, and we'll touch on this in another episode, we've been talking about settling down, about
What?
what? No, about kids getting married, because we're having to work back. So decide when we want a kid. I'm more bothered about getting married than you are.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah, you really couldn't care less. It was if it was up to you,
Well,
you'd go.
don't say it quite like that, but
But do you know what I mean? Like, you're not fussed about the actual.
the only good thing is when you can get through that. Isn't there like a marriage tax thing?
Oh
You
yeah,
can
there
get
is.
a few P's off the government.
Oh, but yeah, that side of it. Because I also think.
And you get to take a different box.
What do you mean?
Well, like married.
So that's exciting to you?
Well, no, it's just a thing that happens, isn't it? You know, when you go from like the 18 to 29 box.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh, I'm
30
about to leave that
2.
one. I don't like it. Well, I look forward to just being like, husband. Hi,
No,
husband.
oh, okay.
Well, yeah. Obviously,
'Cause
you're
that's
the
me.
husband. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to be referring to myself as wife. But because I really like it the way my mum and dad are. Because my dad goes, my wife. And mum goes. Oh, no,
What?
actually, mum doesn't go.
Says it
No,
like
you
that.
can't do that. Don't ruin it. Oh, you're wild. So, yeah. We see loads of things have actually been going on. And it's definitely, because I want to do a separate podcast on the whole, like, talk about having kids. Because that's been a lot on my brain. And then I laughed yesterday because you were basically like, what were we saying? So basically, the thing is, you want to be the stay-at-home parent.
You're making it out like I'm gonna be the babysitter.
I didn't say the
You need
babysitter.
help.
I have never said I'm
So-
not gonna help. Right, let's
It
get
was
into this.
implied.
Implied how?
That was
I
implied.
made a joke. And I can't remember what I said.
I can't remember either.
But when have I ever?
It was just funny because it came across like you'll just be in the office, pop in, going alright, see ya.
What's wrong with that?
Well,
Because you talk about like taking kids out and doing stuff with them, not doing baby century and all that. So,
that's
all
true.
right then. You
But-
have a plan of how you want things to be. You work away.
But also, I can't just like I might have to work to some degree as well.
You're not gonna work. You're not gonna have to work.
I might.
Don't you worry. I've got you. Go away.
You may hurry up, huh?
You should believe in me more than anyone else.
I'm not gonna leave you.
I said you should believe in me. But all of that, it's an interesting conversation though, isn't it? Because even deciding what that's gonna look like, my struggle is the expectations of what is expected of the woman. Like, I wouldn't just leave you to it, but at the same time, like, I still want to enjoy my work and the things that I like to do. So yeah, that'll be its own separate podcast. But we have, yeah, like the past few months, it's not like it's just been, like it's flown in, but there has been quite a lot in terms of like us moving forward. But again, it's been in quite a natural way, I'd like to think.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, as we move forward, maybe one day we'll be updating people on weddings and what's going on. Excuse you. I planned our wedding in the afternoon, and you were just like...
See, there's nothing to it.
That's what Dad said as well. But when you got a plan, you got a plan. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the day you decide to propose. Because, no, I'm not doing it. You always say this.
I didn't say it.
You're
You
about
were
to
gonna
say
do
it. You're about to say, why can't you propose?
That's not what I was gonna
Okay,
say.
what were you going to say?
I wasn't gonna say it now.
You
I was
literally
gonna-
turned.
Yeah, I was gonna pretend I didn't hear you.
Of course you
And I
were.
always do.
Of course you were. Well, right. Okay, so let's
Right.
end it with our win of the week. What's been your win of the week?
Well, I guess the big win was finishing my course with a good mark.
Yeah, that was really good. Proud of you.
Easy.
That's a good one. What's been my win? Do you know what, actually? I had a really difficult week last week, and I really didn't feel well, and I got so much stuff done, especially on Friday. Like, I got back from that brunch on Friday, and literally wrote a massive to-do list, and in the space of 3-4 hours, did so much work. So I think my win of the week, surviving the week, but also being very productive. Loving life. Great. Well, thanks very much for joining me, even though you weren't being serious for the first bit. What are you doing?
Is that us?
That's us. So, as always, like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. Thank you for still watching the podcast. And I really should have covered this at the beginning, but the podcast is now going to be every 2 weeks because
2 weeks.
I don't even know what that's from. Because I'm planning now when ours is going to start. And I want to get them, maybe if we start one every other week, then that'll get you into a nice schedule.
Annually?
Not one annually. That's a series. Just one.
Long. Playing the long game.
Okay. But no, that's
How
not
did
going
we
to
do for
happen.
time?
How did we do? We're on 35 minutes. It's nearly 36, so
Close.
we did do quite well. Well, perfect. Thanks so much. Oh my god! We didn't even talk about going viral. We're going to do another podcast. I'm going to make some notes. So we've still ended this podcast. I know we're on over 8 million views. If you want to check out our TikTok, it's Chicken G. So yeah, go and have a look at that. And we'll see you some other time and fill in on some other exciting things. I'm going to make sure I don't give you this phone now to look at. Because that was a mistake on my part. Well, see you guys. Bye guys.